work is still here. The sound of machine guns and
my comrades' screams ring in my ears. I can still smell the putrid odor of rotting flesh. And I can still see the terror of what we went through fighting the Germans in Italy. After we landed in Naples, we made our way to Livorno and Pisa, where the units of the 2nd Battalion of the 85th were relocated to Gavinana, an old medieval village in the province of Pistoia. The soldiers of Company G were housed in 2-story buildings, positioned on the slope beneath the square, into groups of about 4 men per floor. I was placed on the top floor of a house with several other soldiers from my platoon, including Eric Rower, also known as Ranch, Thomas Serwanka, and Leslie Cook.
This place is just incredible. Everyone's welcoming. They offer us food and wine. What more could you want?
You forgot to mention the Italian ladies.
You're not wrong.
Gavinana will always be a special place for the men of the 10th. The Italians welcomed us with open arms and treated us like family. At sunset, we would often stay with the families who'd taken us in and sing songs together. They were some of the most beautiful moments.
I was a barmaid in a mountain inn. There I learned the wages and miseries of sin. Along came a skier fresh from off the slopes. He's the one that ruined me and shattered all my hopes. Singing 90 pounds of rock, sack a pound of grub or two. He'll shush the mountain like his daddy used to do.
We were a good group of men, united and close. In those evenings, we forgot we were at war. Felt like we were relaxing back home in peacetime. Not everyone in the company had volunteered. Many men came from different army units. For example, some of our sergeants came from the 27th Infantry Division, such as First Sergeant John Hemingway, an excellent leader, who was very strict and respected by all. And there was Andrew Lopez, the sergeant of my platoon. He was an exceptional person, a man who always knew how to take care of his men. I held him in great admiration. Some of the other men had already seen combat during the invasion of Kiska in the Aleutian Islands campaign. The soldiers of the 10th Mountain Division, before they were soldiers, were skilled skiers and climbers, true mountain men. Sergeant Morris Murphy, or Speed as we called him, was one of the best and funniest sergeants I ever had. He always knew how to lift our spirits, however hard it got, just like a true leader.
In the mountain infantry, singing 90 pounds of rucksack, a pound of grub or two. He'll shush the mountain like his daddy used to do.
Thomas Brooks, one of my closest buddies, hailed from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. He signed up after graduation. First, he'd wanted to be a pilot in the Air Force, but his poor eyesight meant they refused his application. In the end, he made it into the 10th Mountain Division, and by September 1943, he found himself in the Colorado Mountains for training. This is me, Edward Nickerson. I joined the division in January 1944.
I would say so.
I was crazy about skiing, and I wanted to fight alongside the best.
Hey, fantastic.
We were young, with our whole lives ahead of us. We had no idea what lay in store for us.
Yeah.
But that would all change sooner than we thought.
He can't help but bringing it up. Oh, man, that's ridiculous.
One, two, three.
During training in Gavinana, we spend our time with physical exercise, marches, and weapons practice. Our company was lucky to have excellent officers. Lieutenant John Clayton, our platoon leader, was a well-respected commander. He was strict above all else, but he knew how to balance caution with courage.
10.
Lieutenant Hannu Tismaki was originally from Finland. He immigrated to Canada in 1933 and quickly became an expert skier. He signed up for the 10th Mountain Division in 1942.
9, 10. Stop.
And Captain Otis Halverson, the company commander, came from Wyoming. He was the best leader we had ever seen. The way he treated his men made him special.
I've got something here for you.
Gilbert Fisk was originally from East Millinocket. He had volunteered for the mountain troops.
You have to wear it for me.
He was an intelligent young man and loved reading. During our time in Gavinana, he had a relationship with a girl from the town. Her name was Maria Rosa.
Does it fit you?
They spent a lot of time together, often reading books in each other's languages. They were made for each other. At night, we took turns standing guard. On those cold nights, we kept our spirits up by remembering our time at Camp Hale. One of our favorite spots in Gavinana was the railway station at the foot of the town, where Sergeant James Winters and his machine gun team were stationed. They had a huge barrel of local red wine inside the station, and whenever a soldier happened to pass by, he was warmly welcomed with a glass of wine.
Nickerson, come here.
Good evening, Sergeant.
How's it going?
Not bad, apart from the cold. A drop of that will warm me up. Much thanks.
All good?
Yeah, we're getting ready for when we go into action. We're starting with patrols and reconnaissance tomorrow. I have to go. Thanks anyway for the wine. This was how we spent our evenings. Couldn't have spent them better if we'd been at home. Some of us smoked a cigarette. Some spent time with Italian civilians, who did their best to make sure we weren't short for anything. There were also those who took advantage of the time to write home. Among the officers of the company was First Lieutenant Lawrence Mackenzie, who worked alongside Captain Halverson.
I bet a pack of cigarettes.
Among the other soldiers in the company was Richard Kondo, one of my best friends. Kondo hailed from New Jersey. He was a funny guy, good at his work, and really friendly. Truly a great fella.
I don't think he shuffled it well.
John McGrath was originally from East Norwalk in Connecticut. He volunteered in 1943. He was polite and well-mannered, a quiet guy, but respected by everybody in the company.
Here you go, another pack.
If I were you,
Happy.
Frank, I'd bet a ration of bacon.
Frank Rakos had a good eye for life. In Gavinana, he always managed to get extra rations from the kitchen, bacon included. He would share them with Tom Brooks and Tony Rackettine. The smell of bacon remained in their room for days.
Otherwise we won't.
Some of the men in the company, on the other hand, were of Austrian or German origin,
Let's go.
like Hans
You
Aschaffenburg.
don't give up, do you?
They were very useful when we took prisoners.
Now.
Among the sergeants who led our platoon, there were Frederick Aloisi and John Coffin.
All right, I say.
Hands bet something else.
Enough.
In the days that followed, we carried out reconnaissance missions and patrols. Although we hadn't engaged in combat yet, it was only a matter of time. On February 5th, the company launched an attack on Mount Spigolino with a force of 60 men. Mount Spigolino, located south of Riva Ridge, was a prime target for the patrols of the 10th. It was crucial to capture the mountain. Up there, the Germans could observe all our movements in the valley below. For many, it was their first combat experience. I didn't take part in the attack myself, but many men in my platoon did.
I'm reloading! Move up with the bazooka! Reload, quickly! Go! Reload! Shoot! Cover me! Cover the firing, boy! Shoot!
During the attack on Mount Spigolino, the company captured 2 prisoners, a machine gun, and 3 rifles. None of our men were injured or killed.
Getting on the trucks.
A few days later, we were sent to Monte di Villa, where we relieved Company K of the 87th Regiment. On February 17th, we returned to Gavinana and got ready to move out to the front lines.
John, pass me the backpack.
Hand out the ammunition as best as possible. Make sure everyone has their share, okay?
Understood, Sergeant.
Get them moving!
Let's move it.
On the trucks, quick! Get off the trucks! Come on! Get out! Come on, guys! Get out! Get out! Move it up! Quickly!
On the trucks. Move.
On, move! Let's move! Collect all the gear! Move it! All right, guys, let's keep moving. Everyone in line! Move! Move, guys, move! Move on out! Come on, guys!
We arrived at the bivouac areas on the evening of February 17th. Preparations were all in place, and the orders were crystal clear. Hayes' speech about always moving forward had left a strong impression on all of us. We spent the next day getting ready for the attack, trying to keep our spirits high, while also grappling with the fear and anxiety that had been building up since we set out. On the evening of the 18th, in the darkness of the night, we were waiting for the start of Operation Encore.
John, give me a light.
They've identified several minefields in different parts of the mountain.
All of Sector S2 and S3, apparently.
Yeah. The combat engineers are already working to demine them. The crowds didn't expect it. We caught them off guard. Right, so listen up. Our units did a great job on Riva Ridge and Mount Belvedere. We will advance through Mount Gorgolesco, and we'll head here towards Mount de la Torracha. If we take the mountain range, the objective of conquering the entire peninsula will be in our reach. We'll move as soon as we receive the order. Pack all the ammo in reserve, if you can carry any more. All right. That's all. You can return to your men.
Yes, sir.
Captain.
Guys, tonight we're staying here. Keep your weapons loaded and your ears open.
Yes, sir.
What are you looking at?
It's just a photo. Mary Rosa from Gavinana gave it to me. It's her and her grandmother.
You've really gone and fallen for that girl, huh?
On your feet, they're coming!
Weapons loaded!
There's movement in the trees.
There they are. Over there.
They're coming! Everyone, take cover!
Down!
During the bombardment, I flattened myself down at the bottom of the trench as much as I could. I looked at my companions and thought we looked like 40 cats trying to lie down on a warm floor.
To your right! Open fire!
Request artillery on 6-2, 6-3, 6-4.
This is George Company requesting effective fire coordinates 6-2-6-3-6-4. I repeat, 6-2-6-3-6-4. Over.
On the morning of February 21st, we continued our attack. In the company, we had two Johnsons. The first was Raymond Ray Johnson, and the other was Charles Johnson. Both were sergeants and great friends. Charles Johnson managed to bring an 8mm camera with him and documented many things about our experience in Italy. On February 22nd, we were on Hill 1036. After 2 days of fighting, we stopped on Hill 1036. We were in an area with more trees than the previous ones, making us feel a little safer. But we were still vulnerable.
How we doing?
Very well.
Clayton,
Yes, sir.
I'm going down to the regimental headquarters. Can you handle things here?
Of course, sir.
Very good.
Can I take your shovel?
Sure, go ahead.
How you guys doing?
Hello, Sarge.
Brooks,
Hey, Jack.
how's it going?
All good. How about you, Sarge?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Is that a knife you shovel?
I was wondering that as well. Who knows where I left it?
Incoming fire! Cover!